My son think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son his mama and his grandmama, his ass going to prison. Those words, raw and unfiltered, come straight from T.I., a father whose worst nightmare might finally be knocking at the door. For years, T.I. has watched his son, King Harris, make choices that could easily lead him down a dangerous path, warning him repeatedly to slow down, to think twice, to change lanes before it was too late. But the reality is now setting in. King might be facing 5 years behind bars, a sentence that could alter the trajectory of his life forever. For fans and followers, this is more than celebrity gossip. It's the chilling culmination of a story that started long before headlines and viral videos. It's a cautionary tale of choices, consequences, and the inescapable lessons that life sometimes delivers in the harshest of ways. T.I.'s relationship with King Harris has always been complex. As the son of a hip-hop legend, King grew up in the spotlight, with cameras capturing almost every moment of his life. From the very beginning, T.I. warned him about the pitfalls of fame and the dangers of reckless behavior, drawing from his own experiences growing up in an environment where one bad decision could end everything. Despite the warnings, King's choices often ignored these lessons. Red flags emerged early and often. There were viral incidents like the Waffle House fight, where King's temper boiled over into a public spectacle, showing a side of him that seemed both reckless and entitled. Music videos featured him flashing guns, portraying an image that blended bravado with danger. Social media posts, once playful or innocuous, began hinting at a growing pattern. King seemed to thrive on chaos, almost daring the universe to intervene. T.I., ever vigilant, used every opportunity to guide his son, offering lessons not just as a father, but as someone who had lived through similar turbulence and understood its consequences intimately. By 2024, the pattern of risky behavior culminated in events that would change everything. Arrest footage captured King nearly smashing into a police cruiser while speeding with a gun on his hip, a scenario that would strike fear into the heart of any parent. It wasn't just the immediate danger, it was also the resurgence of a 2022 warrant, a legal shadow he had allowed to linger unresolved. Speeding, driving on a suspended license, and a DUI. All charges that King had neglected to address, choosing instead to live in the moment, unaware that every misstep was accumulating like storm clouds ready to burst. And yet, amidst all this chaos, life moved forward in other ways. King became a father just weeks after the arrest. He posted about his newborn, released heartfelt music like Dear Son, and gave the world the impression that he was ready to embrace adulthood and responsibility. But the reality was harsher. King's personal milestones were overshadowed by the looming consequences of his actions, reminding everyone that recklessness can catch up no matter how quickly life moves forward. The arrest itself read like a scene out of a movie, one too chaotic and surreal to believe. October 2024, a gas station, a BMW, and a nearly catastrophic encounter with law enforcement. King pulled out of the station, almost colliding with a police cruiser, immediately triggering a chain reaction that would unravel everything. Cops approached, detected the scent of marijuana, and quickly spotted the firearms strapped to King's hip. When they ran his name, the past came flooding back. The open warrant from 2022. The charges weren't minor infractions, they were serious offenses that had been ignored, festering over 2 years and creating a perfect storm for disaster. The arrest video, first shared by Badge Chronicles and then Vlad TV, runs nearly 30 minutes, showing the full weight of the situation. King is cooperative, calm, and collected outwardly, yet the tension is palpable. He is being taken down a path he could have avoided, one that will likely define his life for years to come. Within hours, he went from Instagram flexes and online bragging to being held in a cold jail cell, a reminder that the internet, social media fame, and personal bravado offer no protection from real-world consequences. What makes this moment particularly painful is not just the legal jeopardy, but the personal toll on his family. T.I., who had been warning King for years, now faces the difficult intersection of public scrutiny and private heartbreak. Fans immediately began circulating old videos of T.I.'s warnings, creating a narrative that some interpreted as prophetic and others as tragic. Social media erupted with commentary. Some accused T.I. of speaking his son into trouble, while others sympathized with him, acknowledging the agony of witnessing your child make irreversible mistakes despite your guidance. The arrest highlighted a fundamental truth. Knowledge, advice, and experience can only go so far when a young adult refuses to heed them. King had heard the warnings, but he hadn't internalized them, and now the consequences loomed larger than ever. King Harris's missteps didn't start with the arrest. They had been accumulating for years, visible to anyone paying attention. The Waffle House meltdown in 2022 was a public turning point. Videos showed King screaming at employees, demanding respect, and engaging in a petty conflict that could have been avoided entirely. His behavior was entitled, reckless, and entirely avoidable, creating public skepticism about his judgment and his ability to handle pressure. Even T.I. expressed confusion and disappointment, going live to voice his disbelief over why his son would waste energy on a short-order cook. The incident was more than embarrassing. It was a clear manifestation of a pattern of impulsivity and a lack of foresight. Compounding this, the gun incidents during music video shoots further cemented public concern. King, along with Boozie's son Tootie Raw, were filmed handling firearms recklessly, prompting immediate intervention from their fathers. T.I. stepped in with a lecture that balanced discipline and education, explaining how one wrong move with a gun, or even in the presence of drugs, could result in jail time. Fans praised T.I. and Boozie for stepping up, acknowledging that it was refreshing to see fathers actively guiding their children, instead of allowing them to spiral unchecked. Yet, despite the warnings and live examples, King continued to make choices that endangered him and those around him. A stark reminder that advice, no matter how well-intentioned, requires personal accountability to take effect. King's transition into fatherhood added an unexpected layer of complexity. The mother of his child, Big Nana, sparked immediate speculation due to the age difference, and social media buzzed with rumors about motivations and intentions. Despite the gossip, King remained unbothered. He threw a lavish baby shower, documented every stage of the pregnancy, and celebrated the birth of his son in November 2024 with pride and public enthusiasm. On Instagram, he shared emotional captions alongside his newborn, declaring a new chapter in his life with tracks like Dear Son. For a moment, it appeared that fatherhood might instill the kind of responsibility and maturity that had eluded him for years. But the timing of his legal troubles was brutal. Just as King was posting proud fatherhood moments, the arrest footage circulated widely online, reminding the public and King himself of the chaos he had created. Fans weren't shocked. For years, social media observers had been predicting that King's reckless behavior would catch up with him, and the arrest confirmed those expectations. The juxtaposition of new fatherhood and impending legal consequences created a tension that few could ignore. It was a stark reminder that personal milestones, no matter how joyful, do not erase the repercussions of past actions. The internet reacted with a mixture of judgment, sympathy, and fascination. Clips of the arrest went viral, and alongside them, old videos of T.I. warning his son began circulating. Some users suggested that T.I. had spoken his son into misfortune, while others expressed deep sympathy for the father watching his child's mistakes unfold in real time. The narrative that emerged online was multifaceted. It highlighted the consequences of poor decisions, the challenges of parenting in the public eye, and the reality that even fame and wealth cannot shield one from legal accountability. T.I.'s role in all of this is deeply complicated. He had warned, guided, and intervened repeatedly, yet King's choices ultimately placed him in jeopardy. The pain for T.I. is both private and public. Those who follow their podcast and family updates know that T.I. and King share a strong bond, making the situation even more heartbreaking. This is a father watching his child navigate the consequences of decisions he tried desperately to prevent, all while the world observes, judges, and comments on every detail. For T.I., this isn't just a legal issue, it's a deeply personal test of love, resilience, and patience, one that intersects with his own past and experiences. King Harris's story is more than a series of viral moments or celebrity drama. It's a reflection of real-world consequences, a demonstration that choices, especially repeated poor ones, have the power to shape lives dramatically. If the judge imposes a 5-year sentence, it will be a turning point not just for King, but for T.I. and the entire family. This is a moment that tests the limits of parental influence, the weight of personal responsibility, and the harsh reality that life sometimes teaches lessons in ways that are painful, public, and inescapable. Even in the midst of this chaos, one thing remains clear. T.I.'s love for King is unwavering. He has consistently affirmed that no matter how messy life gets, he will stand by his son. That steadfast support, however, is juxtaposed against the very real consequences King now faces. The internet's reaction underscores the intensity of the situation, with fans ranging from harsh critics to those hoping that fatherhood will ground him, even if prison ultimately becomes part of the lesson. For T.I., the situation represents history repeating itself. The legal system he fought to escape and navigate is now confronting his own child. And while T.I. may have foreseen this possibility, the emotional weight of watching it unfold is undeniable. This isn't just another celebrity headline. It's a profound life lesson about accountability, the influence of upbringing, and the reality that choices, good or bad, have consequences that cannot be avoided. This story isn't merely about King Harris making headlines or sparking online debates. It's about consequences, responsibility, and the testing of familial bonds under extreme pressure. If a 5-year sentence becomes official, it will be more than just a punishment. It will be a formative, life-altering lesson for King, one that underscores the reality of choices and the inevitability of accountability. T.I.'s warnings, long dismissed, have proven prescient, and while King now faces the consequences of his actions, the unwavering presence of his father provides a glimmer of support amidst the storm. In the end, King Harris's story is a reminder that fame, talent, and opportunity cannot replace wisdom, responsibility, or foresight. It's a cautionary tale for anyone watching, a narrative filled with heartbreak, lessons, and the complexities of parenting in the modern world. Whether King emerges from this challenge transformed or continues down a difficult path remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the stakes are high, the lessons are real, and the impact of these moments will resonate for years to come.